You have to go over there near the gates. It's private property.
Past there, yeah?
Yeah.
Is that for all of these sites?
Yes,
Yeah.
it is.
So who are you? Sorry, you haven't even got a badge on.
Security.
You're security. Okay.
Yeah, so, and you haven't got any pass to go on this site either, love. So it's private property. If you want to go over near the gate, please.
Just over by the gate. All right.
Thank you.
Just before I go over, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go around.
No, you're not.
Get some videos.
No, you're not. It's private property. Which part you don't understand?
No, I mean past that way. Past.
You're not allowed to. You've got to ask permission for it. It's still private property.
I'll be on public land though, filming private property. Is that okay? Yeah.
Why are you recording?
That's because I've just said I've come down here to do a bit of a.
You want to go to the gate first before we carry on?
Yeah. Okay then. Yeah. What are we up to?
Welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into one of the most tense and fascinating public audits you'll ever see. What starts as a simple filming exercise on a public footpath quickly spirals into a full-on battle of rights, authority, and ignorance of the law. On one side, we have an auditor calmly documenting a factory with his drone. On the other, a group of security guards who are absolutely convinced they control not just the land, but the air above it. Over the next 10 minutes, you'll witness accusations, contradictions, and a complete failure to understand even the most basic drone laws in the UK. But here's the real kicker. This isn't just about drones. It's about authority being tested in real time. Stick around to see how quickly it escalates when the police are called.
Because it's private property, you need to ask permission for us to do it. So can you please delete it?
I'd rather not. I'm not going to delete it.
It's your choice. You either do it or we'll phone the police. Your choice.
Well, listen, I'll just tell you what I'm doing and then you can decide whether or not you want to call.
You've come on a site which is private property. Now I've asked, because you've not asked permission of the property people to record. You've come onto this site and recorded without any permission. Now you've got a choice to either record and delete that or contact the police.
Can I just explain to you then, before you contact the police, what's going on, yeah? What I'm doing is I'm just going to have a little walk around the perimeter and film the private land from public.
Well, you haven't done, have you? You just come on here, onto private property and recorded it.
Yeah,
so I'd like you to delete it, please.
Yeah, but that's because you've asked me to leave, so I'm leaving now, yeah?
No. Would you walk onto anybody's site? Did you think it was private property? It's not. There's a reason why these gates are here and the barrier's here. So please, can you delete that footage? The beginning of you walking onto the site, can you please delete it?
And ask yourself, who's really causing the problem here? Let's break it down. Notice what the guard does here. He shifts the conversation away from rights and legality, and instead starts talking about drone safety. This is a common tactic. When someone knows they don't have legal grounds, they try to steer the debate toward vague concerns. But here's the truth. Safety isn't the issue. The auditor isn't endangering anyone. He's standing on public land and flying a registered drone. Instead of acknowledging that, security is hoping that by repeating the word unsafe, they can create authority where none exists. It's not about rules, it's about control through distraction. And just like that, the situation escalates. The guard isn't satisfied with the answers he's getting, so instead of engaging in dialogue, he calls for backup. This is such a telling move.
For vehicles.
Right, no it's not. It's for people like you, and that's why the gates are here. If you were coming onto this site, you'd walk through these gates. You haven't. For one, you've not asked permission to record anybody on this site, including me. So, I advise you to delete it off before I get the police involved. You've not written to this company to ask them to do recording.
Do I have to write? Why would I have to write?
You just walked onto this site thinking you've got rights to do. You have not.
Can I just say, don't get the police involved because there's no crime being committed.
There is. It's trespassing. No. You've come onto this property as trespassing, which is a civil suit at the end of the day. But you are recording against the company's policy.
Yeah, it's civil, that's what I mean. So you wouldn't ring the police, would you?
You are recording against a company's policy.
Yeah.
For one, you have to ask if you can come on this site and if you can go on.
When people realize they're losing an argument on logic or law, they often try to bring in reinforcements. But here's the irony. Calling for more guards doesn't change the law. All it does is put more pressure on the auditor, hoping he will back down. But spoiler alert, auditors live for this kind of confrontation. This is where things get interesting. Here comes one of the most bizarre claims of the entire exchange, that the factory somehow owns the airspace above it. This is flat out wrong. In the UK, the Civil Aviation Authority controls airspace, not private companies. Unless you're near restricted zones like prisons, airports.
The day,
I know.
You might come, you don't.
I do know.
You don't. A lot of people think they do, they don't, right? I've been doing this for years, I know the legal sides, okay? So one, it's private property.
Yeah.
This is council property. That's council property. Come over to this gate, you come over that gate, it is private property. That's the reason why I am here.
Okay.
Now, I've advised you, and I've said it 3 times now. You either delete that footage that you recorded when you're coming on this site, or we will have to inform the police. What have you done?
Please don't ring the police, because there's been no crime committed. Trespass is civil, isn't it? The police don't get involved.
Matter. It's still private property. Whether it's civil or whether it's public or whatever way, it is still trespassing.
Yeah.
You have not got permission on the company.
Or military bases. Flying a drone is perfectly legal. Yet the guard states this with absolute certainty, as if repeating it will make it true. This moment highlights a much bigger issue. When people in positions of authority misunderstand the law, they don't just misinform the public. They actively spread false rules, and that's dangerous.
This site, and we call this wagon coming on side.
Okay, but what you're saying, just let me speak then. So what you're saying is I have to delete this. So you are saying you know the...
delete the area if you're coming up here. From there onwards, you can do whatever you want.
Okay, you know the law.
You are on a public footpath, like you've said to me. You are on a public footpath and you're taking photos, but still has to ask permission to come on site. You walked on site, which is trespassing. You can ask any police officer you like. I used to work with the police, so your choice.
What did you used to do part of the police?
I'm not telling you.
Right,
I'm not telling you.
That's really
it's
interesting.
Your choice to delete you walking into the site.
Have you got a license for your drone?
What kind of license do you need for a drone?
You need a license to come over to a private company. You've got to have our permission to fly a drone over our company.
You're saying I'm not going to fly the drone?
Yeah.
You're wrong then. You're wrong. Because I'm definitely going to fly that drone.
No, you're not. If I get the police, I will bring them.
Watch carefully here. The auditor even shows them the official government app that marks restricted drone zones. Instead of engaging with the evidence, the guard completely dismisses it, claiming that anyone can make an app. That's like saying Google Maps isn't real because someone could draw a fake map on paper. This is denial at its peak. When confronted with proof, rather than adjusting their stance, the guard doubles down on misinformation. It's not about safety. It's about refusing to admit they might be wrong. And that is exactly how conflicts escalate instead of being resolved. And here comes the pivot. Since the guard can't win on the law, he attacks the man's character. Suddenly, wearing a GoPro makes you suspicious.
PCA's PC Greenhouse, yeah.
So what's your name?
I'd rather not give any names, if you know what I mean. I'm just out flying my drone, that's all.
We're asking you your name because we need to ascertain details, because then I can say I've spoken to you, you've told me exactly what's happening, and then I can close the log, but at the minute I don't know who you are.
Yeah. You don't need to know who I am. Are you recording, by the way?
It's always
Ah, right, you're supposed to tell me before.
No, we don't have to say it. It's always on for
Look it up in your policy, love. Look it up in your policy. I'm recording. I don't need to tell you I ain't got a policy. You've got a policy. Because you're a data handler. You handle...
This is a classic deflection strategy. If they can't challenge your rights, they'll challenge your intent. By painting the auditor as a troublemaker, they're hoping to shift the narrative from he's exercising his rights to he's here to cause problems. But here's the catch. That argument doesn't hold up in court. Motive doesn't erase rights. Whether you're filming for journalism, curiosity, or even personal hobby, public land is still public land. This part is almost comical. The guard keeps barking, "Get back to work," as if the auditor is the one slacking off. In reality, the auditor is on public land, minding his business, while the guard has abandoned his actual duties to chase someone who isn't breaking the law.
He's obviously making that business feel uncomfortable, isn't it? Because he doesn't know who you are or why you're doing that. You could be a security risk to that business. He doesn't know you, does he?
Well, yeah, you've come and spoke to me now anyway, so Yeah, I'm just. If you just let him know, I'm here flying a drone, and that's it really.
Right. Well, can you move on somewhere else away from the business?
I won't be moving on anywhere else. This is public land. Don't ask me to move on. That's ridiculous.
At the end of the day, you're making him feel.
I don't know who you think you are, though, turning up like this and just telling me to move.
This is what happens when authority goes unchecked. They assume their uniform automatically makes them right. But the law doesn't bend to badges, and repeating commands doesn't magically make someone guilty. The irony is crystal clear. The only person not doing their job here is the one shouting about work. And that brings us to the climax of this standoff. What started as a man filming a building from a public footpath turned into accusations of trespass, bogus claims about airspace, and even character attacks. Yet through it all, the auditor stood his ground, calmly citing the law while the guards unraveled.
I'm asking you politely that you're making him feel insecure because he's not aware of who you are. You're not even telling me who you are.
I'm not going to tell you who I am because I don't need to. There's no law.
We don't know who you are. That is a business. He's there for security purposes, and you're outside flying.
Can I just remind you both that you're here to uphold the law? You've got to go by laws. Yeah, you can't.
Absolutely.
I'm studying public land now, just doing a legal activity.
That, but if you just go a little bit further down there, away from the business entrance, you're not going to make him feel uncomfortable, are you? You can appreciate though that without their permission it can make them feel a little bit uncomfortable because they don't know why you're here, do they?
Well, the thing is...
If you get permission to do that, then I'm sure they'll be more than happy.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Well, the thing is, one, I don't need to, but two, sometimes I do. But the thing is, what happens is that guy first came out there, he came out, and instead of just coming up to me and talking to me and saying, "Hiya, what are you doing? How are you flying a drone?" and all that kind of stuff, he ran up to me with a strobe light flashing at me, saying, "I've called the police on you," and that's that. And then he run back in his hut, turned all lights out. So at that point, I'm thinking, well, what do I do? Do I go down and say to him, "Don't worry, mate, it's just a drone"? You know what I mean?
Because potentially he's quite scared because he doesn't know who you are or what you're doing. Do you know what I mean? So he's in fear.
Here's the big takeaway. Authority without knowledge is just noise. If you're going to enforce rules, you better know the actual law behind them. Otherwise, you end up looking like this. So, what do you think? Were the guards genuinely concerned, or were they just flexing power they didn't have? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And if you found this case as shocking as we did, hit that like button, share this video, and don't forget to subscribe for more jaw-dropping breakdowns. Until next time, stay sharp, stay informed, and never let anyone rewrite your rights.
Feelings, everybody can make anybody feel unfair, and that's clearly what you did. Yeah,
Well,
you made him
from a
feel
legal
unfair.
standpoint, I haven't created fear or anything like that. From a legal standpoint,
For him, yeah.
A lot of people phone the police when you fly a drone over the premises, but it's because they don't know the law.
They don't know you, they don't know that you've got a YouTube channel, and they don't know what your interests are. You've just told us you're interested in buildings, you're doing nighttime shots, and now you've just told my colleague you've got a YouTube channel, but they don't know that. And this is, I'm not saying it's the same person.
Yeah, he never asked, but...
Within the last 4 days, we've had 2 calls about people flying drones here. So just because it's so close together, it's gonna spike a little bit of concern.
If somebody's going to break into that and potentially cause damage, it's going to make a massive effect on the whole area, isn't it? So they have to be very aware. So if they don't know you're coming, they don't know what you're here for, do they? So it's going to make them feel a bit sort of worried, especially when it's a chemical place.
I don't want to do something wrong by you and act on something or say something or do something when I don't know it's right.
Well, the thing is, what I try to do is I try to avoid detaining arrests, so I can let you know if you needed to know anything, but I will let you know today's flight has been 100% lawful.
Right.
That's fine. We just ask for your name, just so we know who you
At the end of the day, I appreciate that, but just as a person, it made him feel a bit sort of frightened for him to phone us. So just be aware of other people, do you know what I mean? You're not doing anything